Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fatah Mundzir. My metric number is 252100. Okay, I am from Group 7 in Cross Culture Management, and today I will talk about culture marketing in China. So, first of all, China has the most internet clients on the planet by today, with more than 800 million come to in 2018. Triple the quantity of internet clients in the $275 million. China turned into the world's biggest internet business showcase when its all-out online deals come to $409 billion of every 2013. This is the reason why China is the country with the largest population in the world. Is one of the most popular countries targeted by large companies to expand their business as multinational corporations. However, not all of them succeed to establish their business and make high profits in the country. Instead, many of the large companies had to close down their stores and withdraw from China market due to many factors. One of them is being failure to formulate effective marketing strategies that can attract the local population in China to buy their products and use their services. One of the causes for the failure stem from the difference in the culture between the home country and the business and the culture in China that may cause the message from the companies not be delivered effectively to the customer. So, as what I already stated in the introduction, not all the companies that come into China to expand their business are set to ascertain their business and make high profits in this country. A number of the businesses that already enter China may well be forced to shut down their business due to some factors. One among the factors that faced by companies from overseas that expand their business to China is the different culture from their home country and therefore and with the host country. So the message that this company admit that defeat China isn't delivered successfully to the customer in China to this difference. Our presentation will analyze the culture in China and its degree of the differences within other countries by using their scores in each of 5 dimensions from Huxley's cultural dimension theory. From there, our presentation will identify how the culture differences affect the marketing strategies undertaken by foreign multinational companies in the country. The presentation will also produce suggestions for these companies to formulate effective strategies that are suitable with the customer behavior and the marketing environment in China so that they will be able to attract the attention of the local customer and establish their brand further to compete successfully with the local companies in China. So that's all from me. The next will be presented by my friend.
Hi everyone, my name is Kang Ai Kuen and my metric number is 262264. Power distance. Power distance is to measure how much inequality and power are tolerated in a certain culture. Power distance is also defined as the extent to which the member with less power in an organization or institution within a country expect and willingly accept the power is not distributed equally among the members. Low power distance. A society with low power distance dimension will share the contribution of power equally. Moreover, they are more informal in communicating with each other. For example, they are likely to be fine addressing people by their first name. People can also ask things directly from people 2 or 3 levels above you in the organization. Low power distance dimension people are more friendlier and more related. They can even speak out and express their opinion. The superior treat subordinate with respect. The country of low power distance dimensions such as Denmark, Australia, and Ireland. High power distance. High power distance dimensions show the existence of a hierarchy where everyone has their own position. The relationship between boss and subordinate is strictly ruled and depends on the decision of the boss. It could be a big gap to contact superior directly. The employee fear to express disagreement to their boss. High power distance dimension also show inequality among the worker. The boss is the one making ultimate decision, which is autocratic bosses. Example countries of high power distance dimension such as China, Japan, Saudi Arabia. Uncertainty avoidance. Uncertainty avoidance is a dimension to express the degree to which the member of a society feel uncomfortable with the uncertainty. It reflects the extent to which members of a society attempt to cope the anxiety by minimizing uncertainty. High uncertainty avoidance. A society with high uncertainty avoidance are focused on safety. They are low tolerance and acceptance for uncertainties. They are not willing to take risks and would prefer to work in a stable situation. Moreover, they try to minimize the occurrence of unknown and unsure circumstances and to proceed with careful changes step by step by implementing rules, law, and regulation. Example countries such as Germany, Japan, and Mexico. Low uncertainty avoidance. People in low uncertainty avoidance are more likely to take risks, less dependent on structural rules. For example, they try to have as few rules as possible. They have lower stress level. They are more tolerant to change and no emotional need to rule. They feel comfortable in unstructured situations. Example countries for low uncertainty avoidance such as United States, England, China, and Singapore.
Hi, I'm Siew Hoon and my matrix number is 263078. Next, I'm going to present about the other three Hofstede theories, which is individualism versus collectivism, masculinity versus femininity, and long-term orientation versus short-term orientation. So, firstly, individualism. Individualism's country mostly practice the concept of I, which they are more individualistic. They only look after themselves, immediate family, or organizations they belong to. They rarely interact or communicate with others and thus they have loose connection with people. Countries with individualisms are mostly wealthy countries because they think that skills and ability of a person is more important in compared with the interpersonal relations. For the collectivism countries, they practice the concept of we. They like to work in group and they have a strong relationship between one another and they take more responsibility in taking care of each other. Furthermore, masculinity versus femininity. Masculinity countries have more concern on their achievement and material rewards for success. They think males are more superior than females and the people can't accept feeling. In contrast, for femininity countries, they have low job stress and they care more for the weak and more concerned about the quality of life. They think that males and females are all equal. In addition, the workplace are more flexibility and work-life balance may be important to them. Moreover, the long-term orientation countries, they will focus on the future. For example, Japan. They avoid talking too much about themselves and behave in a modest way. They usually practice by high power distance index countries. For short-term orientation, the countries focus on present or past than the future. They care more about the immediate satisfaction on their work, and the example of the countries that practice this theory is United States.
I'm Nadzirah Salahuddin, metric number 264000. I will be presenting about how culture has affected the way marketing is being done in China based on Hofstede's theory that we have discussed just now. Starting with individualism. China has relatively low score in this index, showing that it is a highly collective country, so the people there prefer to be in a group and take care of each other. Its impact in business environment is that when people are considering to buy something, they would prefer to ask for opinions of their group members that they find reliable and trustworthy, such as friends, family, and other familiar people such as field experts in the fields and celebrities. They do not simply believe the claims from the companies because companies tend to over-exaggerate about the benefits of their products. So this leads to the emergence of marketing technique using key opinion leaders or KOL in China, such as
我先给你们推荐504，就是那种草莓色。跟你们说，韩国的品牌做颜色真的做得很好，这支颜色很漂亮，就薄唇涂，是草莓红，很漂亮。
KOLs are basically the same as the social media influencers in other countries, but they usually focus on one specific field and they have greater influence on the customers' behaviors. This is because they have spent a lot of time to build a close relationship with their audience base, and they also have better understanding about what their audience wants, so they would offer an honest opinion about whatever product that they are using. This makes the reviews of KOLs far more trustworthy compared to the claims by the companies themselves. So hiring the right KOL to represent a certain brand has better chance to generate more sales because these KOLs can convert a lot of their fans into actual buyers. This is thanks to the vast online platform that they are using, such as WeChat and Weibo, that has numerous active followers in it. Next is masculinity. China's score of 66 is relatively high in this index, showing that it is a highly masculine country. People there define their value through success, achievements, and wealth. One of the ways for them to showcase these qualities that they have is by owning or using luxurious goods. Because typically, luxurious goods are sold at high prices, so it's normal for us to assume that whoever is able to afford these items must have been rich and successful, right? This leads to the increase in demand for luxurious items in China. So more locals and international brands alike have started to promote their products as something luxurious that would provide the customers with high status in the society. And it is estimated that by 2025, the luxury item market in China would reach up to $181 billion US. Providing luxury alone is not enough in China. It also has to include localization to show that the brand properly understands about their behaviors, values, and cultures. One of the brands that failed to do this in China is Dolce & Gabbana. Despite promoting their luxurious jewelries, they also included the stereotyping of Chinese culture in using chopsticks, resulting in backlashes from many users, up to the point that they have to cancel their first runway in Shanghai.
今天我们首先要向大家展示如何用这种小棍子形状的餐具来吃我们伟大的传统玛格丽特披萨饼。
Uncertainty avoidance. China also has a high score in this index, meaning that the people do not like ambiguous future and they do not like to take risks. In business environment, this has led to the big growth of the counterfeit industry in the country. China is estimated to have contributed up to $397 billion US in the global counterfeit trade. Why this happened? Because instead of creating something new that may or may not survive in the market, they prefer to take something that has already established, make their own version that is similar to the original, and then sell it in the market because they know that there will still be people who want to buy it. And this is true because some customers also think that buying counterfeit products is also low risk for them. Because instead of spending $15,000 on something that may not satisfy their needs, it is better to just spend $1,000 on the counterfeit product that they can change anytime if it is not up to their taste.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Raihan Gumilang. My metric number is 258174. So for today, I would like to explain about the Hofstad's theory, which is the power distance and the long-term orientation. Which our group choose the China and focus about the marketing in China. So power distance. Power distance dimension measure how much inequality and power are tolerated in a certain culture. It's defined as the extent to which the member with less power in an organization, institution, with a country expect and willingly accept the power is not distributed equally among the member. For power distance, we choose an example how Google withdraw from China because they don't want to follow the government censorship rules. Their marketing failed because they didn't obey the higher leader, so the marketing that promotes stuff that are high quality and long lasting to fulfill the China's demand. Next, long-term orientation. So long-term orientation is this dimension describe how every society has to maintain some links with its own purpose while dealing with the challenge of their present and future, and society prioritize these two existential goals differently. Normal society, which score low on this dimension, prefer to maintain honor tradition and norms while viewing social charts with suspicion. Those with a culture which scores high, on the other hand, take more pragmatic approach. They encourage thrift and effort in modern education as a way to prepare for the future, which means that it's very pragmatic culture. In society with a pragmatic orientation, people believe that the truth depends very much on situation, context, and time. They show an ability to adapt tradition easily to change condition, a strong property to self and inventiveness and perseverance in achievement result. Example, for the long term, China people are save money to take care of their future, so they would want their investment on product to be worth it. They are willing to preserve and work for longer hours until they can see the result of their hard work. That's all for me. Thank you.